Okay, so in the last tutorial I've shown you how to set up Ethereum or Ethereum Classic mining rig, the hardware part, and now let's concentrate on the software part. If you want to install Ubuntu, that's pretty simple and there are tons of tutorials on YouTube, so I won't cover this, but I will cover all subsequent steps. Okay, so I don't have access to my mining rig from my MacBook now, so what I will do now is I will provision a little GPU Ubuntu node on the cloud. It has 4 NVIDIA K80 GPU cards, quite powerful, and I will select this device to be charged on an hourly basis. And the thing is, now I have to choose the correct instance. I can only use an instance which has GPU support, and I will use this one here which has support for those 4 K80 GPU cards. There are others like the M60 or the P100, but they are a bit more expensive, so I will just use this one here. I click on the price for hourly charging and then I will configure this device. Okay, so I will choose the Dallas 6 data center because I know in Dallas 6 those cards are available. They are not available in every data center. And I will choose Ubuntu to be the operating system. As you can see here, we have 2 NVIDIA K80 cards. So I will choose Ubuntu 16.04 LTS. And to save a little bit of money, I will remove the redundant power supply and I add this to the order. And what then happens, I have to provide 2 things. I have to provide a hostname and SSH public key for access. Nothing else more is required. So let's actually do this. So this is my SSH public key and here I just put some crap. It doesn't matter what is there. And I will show you later how to store your SSH public key in the system while this system is provisioning. So that's a bare metal system, that's not a virtual system, so therefore it takes a bit of time. So in the device list we see that the system actually is in charge of being provisioned. So this is the device. And now I'll show you how to store your SSH public key. So the only thing you need to do is you can create a new one here. So that's the one I've already put there. And if you want to add a new one, you have to click on add. And you can then upload one, or you can just copy paste your DSA or RSA public key file. It's usually in .ssh and id_rsa.pub or dsa.pub. Just copy the whole line, put it back to the text field and give it any label that myself I can later recognize it. That's all. And then I click on save. So let's go back to the device list and see what our device is doing. So it's still provisioning. It will take around 10 minutes, I think. So let's check the IP address if it's already available. And it doesn't seem so. So we have to wait a bit more. So you see here we are running an operating system update, so this is all happening in the background. We'll make sure that your system is not suspect to any worms or other attacks. So I think we have just to wait a bit more. So now the system is provisioned and we can basically access it using SSH. This is the public IP address, and we just open a terminal and then we SSH to the system. Since we have already uploaded our public key, we are now asked for the passphrase of our private key, and then we are instantly logged in. And now it's time to install the NVIDIA CUDA drivers on the system, because otherwise you cannot access your GPU card. So on the YouTube channel, in the previous video and also in this video, you will find the step-by-step instructions on how to install the CUDA drivers, and I will also put instructions for the AMD drivers, and also I will tell you how to install the Ethereum miners. Okay, so let's download the CUDA Debian package, and now we will install it. So that's only a one-liner already done. And now what we have to do is, let's copy paste all this stuff to an editor. What we have to do is, we will run an apt-get update, because this package of course is not containing the drivers, only the references to it. And after the update step, we can run a apt-get install CUDA, and then the data is directly downloaded from the NVIDIA source. Most likely it's in a buffer, but anyway, you see it's miros.service.networklayer.com, so that means all the drivers are in a proxy. So it's relatively fast, 10 to 15, 20 megabytes per second. Now some unpacking is going on, and actually now I'm fast forwarding, because in the background a lot of compilation steps are being done. So this is done now. I have to set two environment variables now in the root bash rc file. One is the location of the drivers, and one adds a path variable. So let's actually do that. Ctrl Shift G brings us to the end, and O is for edit mode, and CC. And now we reboot, and after some time we can relog in, and then the CUDA drivers are installed. So since the CUDA drivers are installed, now we only have to install the Ethereum miner, which is also straightforward. So I don't know if this apt-get update is really necessary at this stage, but let's do it. And now we will actually add a software repository, and we have to add this software properties common command in order to add this repository. So let's do that. apt install software properties common, and then we can rerun the add repository command once this is done. And we have now added the Ethereum repository by hitting enter. Now that's done. Now we need to run an apt-get install, an apt-get update, and then we can just install ETH miner, the open source version of the Ethereum miner. It's also pretty fast and straightforward. And now we can start mining. Of course I have to put my credentials. I need a MinerGate account. I don't know if MinerGate is the best pool, but let's use it for now. And hit enter. And now what now happens is we are downloading the DHE. This will take some time because it's around 1.5 GB. And I'm also fast forwarding this, that you don't have to wait for too long. %. So now I'm fast forwarding, and you basically see that now it's done, and now this guy starts to mine. I see 0 hashes per second, which is because GPU is not activated so far. So we will see some OpenCL commands. So we are using OpenCL here, the OpenCL part of the CUDA driver. And you see here we have 51.9 mega hashes. So each of the K80 cards contributes to around, let's say, 12.5 mega hashes, which is a quite cool number. But of course, what we will see later, you won't make any profit if you're using such a cloud system. When it comes to mining, everything has to be really cheap, so you use the cheapest hardware you can ever get. And I don't want to start a philosophical discussion about mining itself. I think it doesn't really make a lot of sense, so algorithms like proof of stake will rule the world in future, in my opinion. But anyway, I just wanted to show you how to do it. And let's actually check out the MinerGate web interface and see whether the hash rate is being confirmed there. Normally it's not, but let's see. So minergate.com, I'm already logged in. I click on dashboard, and then I scroll down to Ethereum Classic, which is the currency I'm currently mining. Yeah, it's 0 hashes per second, but it's green. That means at least the Stratum connection to the miner is working, and sometimes it needs some time to get updated. So let's wait a bit more. We still get around 50 to 51 or 52 mega hashes, which is a cool number. So this basically can now run forever. That's fine. Later I will show you how to use the Claymores miner. Sometimes you get better hash rates in the Claymores miner depending on your graphic card. In this case it doesn't help too much, but at least you know how to install and use the most prominent Ethereum miners. So let's go back to MinerGate again and see whether the hash rate increases. And we see at least 22.23, which is still not what we expect, but it will increase definitely. I don't know what these guys are doing. Yeah, it's not the best pool. I think there is another pool called nicehash.org, which I heard is better. So let's try this out another time. Now I want to show you how to use the Claymores miner on Linux using GPUs. So that's the Claymores dual Ethereum AMD NVIDIA GPU miner. I click on the mega link and I download the zip file. Be prepared, this could be evil software, so don't extract this file on a productive machine. Okay, just put it to some machine which you don't care about, because who knows who is responsible for that software now. And in that crypto mining space there are no friends. Everyone wants to do profit. Besides me, I'm doing this just for fun. Really, I have other things to do. It's an interesting topic to learn a lot about hashing and cryptography and GPU cards. Actually, I'm interested in using GPU cards for deep learning. That's my motivation in starting with that. But I thought it's a nice hobby, and all my neighborhood is currently addicted to mining, so everyone is kind of building a little mining rig. So let's actually copy this file to the cloud server and extract it, and let's see what's inside. Okay, there is ETH DC R miner 64, which is the one we need. Again, closed source, it's a binary, we have no clue what this is doing. But this is the command, or one possible command, to mine Ethereum Classic with a Claymores dual Ethereum miner. So let's see what's happening. So we are connected to the pool, that's good. And he found 4 GPU cards, which is also good. Now it's setting up. And we should see the total hash rate soon. Let's wait for a second. Yeah, some meter information about the temperature and fan speeds. They're not turning at the moment, this will change. And now we have again 50 mega hashes. So there's no point in using claymores in this setup. But on my little play rig at home, I'm getting a better hash rate and a more constant hash rate on a RX 460 GPU card. And I've heard that on the RX 480 it's also the case. Again, MinerGate needs a very long time to update the statistics, but eventually they will appear here as well. I've already mined 40 euro cents, but not only from this example, of course. Yeah, so that's basically claymores. So another question is, does this really make sense to waste time and money on mining? In my opinion, not. Only for the purpose of your own education it makes sense, because if you have done it yourself, you are knowing what you're talking about. But in order to really find out if it makes sense or not, there is a tool which is called a mining calculator, and let's finalize this video with a little example, and let's see what we actually have to get as hash rate and what we need to have as energy consumption in order to make profit with mining. We finally got 42.78 mega hashes, so that's at least something we can be satisfied with. Even I would expect to see 50 here. So let's actually do some calculations. That's actually the first time I'm seeing cryptocurrencies going up. This whole chart was red last week. So this is the Ethereum Classic mining calculator. You put in your 50 mega hashes, and since we are paying $5 per hour, I put 1000 watts and $5 here, and you see there is no way that you make any profit. You will lose $42,000 per year. If you can push down this a bit more, you're still losing money, so you need actually around 0.2 or 0.1 cents per hour on such a rig that you make $125 of profit per year. Of course, the rate of Ethereum and Ethereum Classic and Bitcoin has a bit fallen, but you see it's actually not making any sense if you don't do it at a very, very large scale on the cheapest hardware and you have very, very low energy costs. So all people are telling you that cryptocurrencies are decentralizing things, but actually not. It's centralized at that points of the globe where power is where electricity is cheap, okay, and also where cooling is cheap, okay. So yeah, okay, that's basically all. Happy mining. Makes a lot of fun, and yeah, just subscribe to my channel, don't forget that, and please leave some comments and tell me what you like, what you didn't like, and what you want to see more. Okay, all the best, bye.